What's up, guys? It's your girl Stacey Cake, your host for What's Hot, and today I am here to react to the second trailer for the upcoming movie Weapons. So if you haven't checked out my reaction to the first trailer, make sure you check that out now. Then come back to this one, and make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, and comment. And yeah, let's get into it.
I just want to say how very sorry I am for...
She should be locked up until she tells us what happened.
The truth is that I want an answer just as bad as all of you.
We're talking about 17 kids in one classroom. I want to know what happened in that classroom. Why just her classroom? Why only her?
They are our children.
I love those kids.
This is a true story that happened right here in my town. A lot of people die in a lot of really weird ways in this story, but you're not gonna find it in the news.
Those kids walked out of those homes. No one pulled them out. No one forced them. What do you see that I don't?
Show me. Where did you go?
There's something very, very wrong going on.
What am I looking at?
Leave the investigating to the investigators.
I've never seen anything like that in my life.
Are you watching? Are you watching? Are you watching?
Crazy. I might have to watch this again.
Are you watching?
Are they removing their faces? Now that's how you motherfudge and recover. That's how you recover. Every con that I said about the first trailer, they brought it, recouped, addressed it in this trailer. Now I will say, like, I had to rewatch this trailer a few times before I felt comfortable, like, even giving my response on camera. So like after I watched it with you guys, I had to watch it again, run it back, because I was just like, what is happening? But with that being said, I'm going to give my pros, my cons for this one, and my overall rating of this trailer by itself. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Pros. So like I said, my pros are basically everything that I said was a con in the first one. It now evokes that emotional reaction that I was kind of looking for when I watched the first trailer. They brought it. It had me like invested, and that's the type of like emotional response I was looking for from the first one, where it had me tuned in to what was going to happen next, really wanting to know what was going to happen next, really trying to see what's happening on the screen, what the characters are talking about, really captivating me as a viewer with the storyline and the visuals that were on screen. And obviously it was a very entertaining trailer that released initially, but I think the second trailer really got that emotional draw out of me as a viewer, and that's what I was looking for. And kind of going into the next pro for me was what helped them establish that emotional pull was more FaceTime. We got to see more faces in this particular trailer than we did in the first one. Like I said, in my reaction for trailer one was a lot of like backs of heads, lower angles, empty beds, landscapes, that type. This time we actually got to have some FaceTime with our characters, and I really do think that plays a difference in the emotional draw that these movies evoke from viewers. And I think this just proved it. Not only did we get FaceTime, we got more lines directly from the characters in the film, particularly the teacher and some of the parents, that also like helped draw us in and helped keep us engaged and captivated by what was going on in the screen. Which, don't get me wrong, one of my pros from the first one, I did actually love that they had a child narrating the trailer, and that child got to speak in trailer 2 as well. And I think that's a great touch and a great like creepy aspect. But I felt like from the first one, we didn't really get to learn a lot about, it didn't leave much to the imagination. It kind of did, because it was something we wanted to know, but it just lacked the, it just lacked some oomph. I can't quite describe it. And I think they, again, addressed those areas with this trailer here. It left a lot to be curious about. Like, I even had to watch the trailer on YouTube with the captions on, because they have this little montage of words at the end. And I'm like, what is this voice saying? What is this creepy voice saying at the end? And when I turn on the captions, it says, "Are you watching? Are you watching? Are you watching?" Like, all of those things that kind of draw you in are just packed into this trailer. And I'm like, oh, why didn't y'all sprinkle some of those things in the first trailer? That would have definitely upped my rating, because now I'm hooked. Now I gotta see what's going on, because we also we got a little taste that there were going to be some adults impacted by what was going on in the first trailer, but we really get to see more of that in the second trailer. And I think it was interesting with just the kids. However, I feel like seeing the adult aspect definitely made it more creepy. My next positive that I felt like they did really well was creating mystery around everything. So a scene that really stood out to me as a Supernatural girl, as a Supernatural fan, when the little boy saw these two adults standing against the wall and he steps over the salt line, and it's like the beat drops and it transitions to someone running. And a salt line, if you're not familiar with like supernatural strategies or supernatural, if you're not familiar with the supernatural industry or the paranormal, salt is also often used as a purifier and a protector from the supernatural, from evil spirits and things like that. So I know, like, from Supernatural, if you put a salt line around you, you're protected. And so seeing what I'm assuming looked like salt, the little boy stepped over the line, and it's like, oh, they can get you now. That was my immediate thought. Yo, it's grace, period. So I'm trying to figure out, did he know those people that were posted up against the wall? Like, who was that couple? A part of me is wondering, are the kids seeing themselves older versions of themselves? That kind of crossed my mind a little bit. I'm not 100% sure. Obviously, I would have to see when the movie comes out, like the rest of us. But yeah, it just definitely evoked mystery and curiosity, and that problem solver in me just is like, oh, I gotta figure out what's going on here. And that's what I was looking for. That's what nailed it. That's what sealed the deal for me. And I was very intrigued by everything that was happening in this trailer. It's just like, I want more. And I feel like the teacher and that one dad who stood up during the parent-teacher conference that night, I feel like they're going to team up, because he's watching surveillance footage of the kids running away and stuff. And I feel like he's going to realize, hey, maybe she didn't have anything to do with this, and they're going to team up to figure out what's really going on. I feel like the children are crossing the veil or something. They're being like lured, obviously, into like, I feel like they're being lured on the other side of the veil or beyond the veil. And part of me feels like they're right there, but the parents just can't see them. It's kind of reminding me a little bit of Stranger Things, but yeah, that's just my theory that something like that is what's going on here. But I cannot wait to see how they unravel it all. I don't really have any cons, to be honest. I have more of a curiosity, which is good. However, if anything could kind of be touched on more, I would say in the synopsis that I read, they say all of the children were kidnapped except one, which I think we see that one kid in this trailer. However, it's not really specified. We hear a narration from a kid, and again, I'm assuming that that's the one kid who didn't disappear. And we see this one little boy again stepping over that salt line, engaging. We see him, and then we hear a voice, but they don't connect the two. And I think that's a part of the mysteriousness there, so I'm not knocking them for that. But I think because we wrote it explicitly in the synopsis, if most people aren't reading the synopsis, it would kind of be nice if they would kind of connect just that one dot, even if it was loosely, that the boy speaking was the little boy that we see stepping over the salt line and engaging with the ghost or whatever. And it definitely looks like something is going on with faces. That's something else I picked up on. Like, people are stabbing themselves in the face, distorted faces, disfigured faces, things like that seem to be really what's going on here. So I'm wondering, and again, pay attention, in the first trailer they weren't really showing any faces, so I think it's something really going on with identity here, or facial features. Something with that should be embedded in this storyline. If not, that's a heck of a coincidence. But because everyone is like stabbing themselves in the face, and again the bloody face, and then in the first trailer they weren't showing any faces, I think it definitely has to be a connection there, and I'm excited to see what that connection is. Overall, I thought this trailer too was perfect. It was great. It definitely gets people talking. It definitely puts you in that problem solver mindset, and I think if a trailer doesn't evoke any other emotion, no matter the genre, it should definitely make you beyond curious and want to see more from the movie. And I think they nailed that here on just about every end. I was super happy with it. Just seeing the characters more, hearing from the characters, just the balance and how it tied to the first one. I just think it was phenomenally done. So with that being said, I'm gonna rate this trailer for Weapons, the second trailer for Weapons, a 5 out of 5 flames. I don't give that too often, but I think this was just a great recovery effort from the first one. So that's why I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. Connected to the first one, it was just a great recovery effort. It's like they sensed the cons that I said in my first video, and they said, okay, bet, we're gonna bring it. So yeah, I'm super happy with that. I have nothing else to add to it. Definitely gonna try to see this movie early. Fingers crossed I can do a review for you guys. If you guys are planning to see the movie, make sure you let me know in the comments below, and make sure you like, share, subscribe, and if you like this video, leave a tip. That's my Cash App. Love you guys, and I will see you guys next time.